Hi, this is Rozani. Welcome back, and welcome if you're new and this is your first time. What I'm doing here is using a tin foil dragon starter shape, and I have different parts that go to it. What I'm going to do is apply some Papier Mache to it by using a paper towel from cleaning my paint brushes. And that's why it's got different colors on it. And so I dip it in the liquid starch and cover the entire piece. And when this dries, it's going to be a hard shell. But what I want to do here is bulk it up a little bit and cover up the tinfoil. If you're unfamiliar with liquid starch, please visit my playlist to find out more, but I use it in all of my papier mâché projects. Once I've done that, I added on some of the red tissue paper. And I like to use this because it adds color, but also it gives it a nice translucency. If I didn't want to paint over it, it would still have the color. But it also creates a nice skin surface, and that's why I like to use it. I could use any color, but I have a lot of red, and so that's why I use the red. But you can use any color you want and any type of paper you want, but this goes on so easily. It takes a little bit longer if you use newsprint. So that's why I like to use the paper napkins, paper towels occasionally, and paper tissue paper a lot more often than the other types of paper. So there you see I've added on a little tip for the tail as well. The beauty is that you can add on all kinds of creature features, as I call them. Set it aside to dry. Okay, let's continue with the creature features, and I'm going to add on to the head, but I want to stabilize it and try to get it, at least get the head in camera view here. There, that's better. Okay, so we're going to begin adding on. Here we go. I'm using this little shape, and I'm placing it right on top of the head. It's a little cap with a point at the end. And I'm going to secure it in place with some paper napkin pieces dipped in the liquid starch. And then I'm going to add the red tissue paper on top of it. And that'll hold everything nicely into place. I'll need to bulk it up a little bit, so I'm going to add on some paper napkin pieces dipped in the liquid starch. Use your imagination and see where it takes you. This is so much fun for me because there's so many possibilities. You could just experiment with it and see what works best for you. Let's keep going. You could even turn it into a phoenix. There are so many things you can do, and it can be on a larger scale. I've made it small because I don't have room in my home studio for large, bulky projects. So I'm able to work in a smaller space with these figurines. But like I said, just be inspired by your own imagination and make wonderful fantasy creatures. It's so much fun. It's not always easy getting both sides to look the same when you work without a pattern. But I'm going to come pretty close, and if I don't get it right the first time, I can always go back and adjust it. So right now I'm just getting the basic shapes, and because it's paper, it can be manipulated. So let's keep going. I'd love to know what you think so far of this project. Please let me know in the comments. Okay, it's time to add on some little arms. I'm going to start with this one, and I'll be using masking tape. Now you could place the arms or legs wherever you like. I'm going to start off with a pair, but I'm only going to show you the basics on this, so you get the idea. So I'll be doing just this one for now. I'll need to secure this tightly in place, so that's why I'm using the masking tape. And then I'll go back and cover it with the paper napkin pieces and the liquid starch. Now, if this were a sitting dragon or a standing dragon, I would be doing it a little bit differently. This one is going to be more ornamental, and I will set it in some kind of arrangement, or it can be hung as an ornament. Usually, I like to place this sort of piece among the greenery, or within the flower pots, or maybe inside of a fairy garden indoors. So now I'm covering up the little arm. And of course, it could be made longer and extended to add the hands and the claws, however you want to do it. So these are a little bit short for starters. But that's okay because we need a starting point, and that's what this is. I hope you found this valuable so far and that you'll be inspired to make a little dragon or fantasy creature of your own using these techniques. And remember, you can use whichever colors you like and whichever types of paper that work best for you. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'll be glad to answer them for you. And it can be about the techniques, it can be about the dragon, it can be about the paper or the liquid starch. I'll help you in any way I can. So there we go. I'm going to let it dry before working on it again. I hope this gives you an idea of what you can do. Thank you so much for having joined me on this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.